Howdy, folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and Merry Christmas to all of you, and to all a happy Tekkit day, where today we're in the basement again, where I might have left the computer running for a couple of days now, and you can't stop me. I'll do what I want to. I'm a free agent. Yeah, listen, you can call it cheat, you can call it cheap, I'm sorry, you can call it cheating, you can call it cheesy. But at the end of the day, if it leads to us having, 40,452, 53, 54 UU matter, you can call it whatever you want to. It doesn't bother me one little bit whatsoever. I'm not doing anything else on my computer. Sometimes I'll come home from work and play a little bit of Halo, but not lately. Things have been pretty busy, getting closer to the holidays, spending time with family, and dealing with all kinds of stuff. But you know what? The last couple of days, computer's been sitting here idle, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed with what it's managed to accomplish. 40,000 UU matter. We could have more, though, and that's the goal today. Now, I wanted to address a couple of things. First off, we did determine that this is going, visually at least, I haven't... One of the things I thought about testing was just dropping a stack of iron in there and then running a timer and seeing how long it takes. I did get a comment, though, real quick about this. This is important. This is an important comment. Let me find it. I'm wiggling my hand around and you can't see it, but someone pointed out something to me. Here we go. This is from Mark Sundigan. I think got a call out in the video, maybe last video before. The reason you are not running out of iron is because whenever you are using the import upgrade in a chest with 3 or more stacks in it, it will always replenish infinitely, just like the macerator in your house. That is true. That is 100% true. That was in a video? Yes. The last one. It is the system... Oh, hold on. I can't be bothered to walk all the way over here. That is the system going right here, which, by the way, I've been... It's so fast! I didn't know it was... Oh, right. It's been left on for the last day and a bit. That's true. But because we have these stacks of iron here, you'll notice this just, for whatever reason, infinitely... I don't know if the glitch is with the rotary macerator or with the alchemical chest, or some kind of interaction between the two. It can't be the alchemical chest, because in the basement, it's not an alchemical chest. That is not a teleporter. This is. It's not an alchemical chest. It's your bog standard ender chest. So it's got to be some kind of a glitch with the import upgrade exclusively. So we're never going to actually run out of iron here. It's never going to actually tax the iron generation, unlike the issue we were having with the I gotta get that out of my hotbar. That's gonna cause a lot of problems. Unlike the issue we were having where we were running out of the refined iron, because this contraption over here, not this one, although it's odd that that one was running just now. I'm confused by that. Did it just start up because I came over here? Did this ever finish? What was the story here? If I take this out now... Oh, hold on. If I, like... How do I erase this? There's none in my inventory. Can I safely, scroll to get rid of it? Scrolling down doesn't work. You know what? If I shift-click, there we go. We take that out of there, and then we get rid of that as well. Perfect. So that should start to fill that up, and hopefully this runs until this has however many it's programmed to have. We need a lot of those in stock. We should also have by now a stack of... high-voltage solar panels. It's a beautiful thing to see. Good. What was I talking about? That's a different issue, and unrelated to what we were talking about. I just allowed myself to go off on a wacky and unnecessary tangent. Well, what we need to be talking about is this! This is what I started with! Oh my gosh! This! I want to drag race these, and see whether or not this is faster than the one upstairs, both of them going full bore. So actually, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. This might be, a bit difficult to test. So what I want to do is I want to get a stack of iron. I want to get out my timer, and we're going to determine whether or not this machine is faster than running the upgraded version of this machine. And also, I got some comments from folks recommending how we might be able to add more quantum overclocker upgrades. We're going to be testing that soon, but let me get the stopwatch open here. And we're going to remove the import upgrade, so this is going to stop running. And then I've got to, put these in here and start at the same time, so here we go. And... stop. 4.03 seconds. That's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. Let's go ahead and re-enable it. There we go. So that should keep running. And hold on, just walking across the floor here is such a tedious affair. Gonna go up here to this machine, and we're going to also remove its import upgrade. The issue with this one is it's not running at full speed right now, so we'll have to get a lever, and we will have to get it up to speed before we actually begin testing. So turn that thing on, and we'll have to be a little bit patient, because it's not going to be ready to go for a minute. But we'll get... I wonder why it wasn't going full speed. I guess... Are we generating enough that we're keeping the chest over here full? Was it that chest? I guess that's not what's happening, because it's currently empty, which is odd. So why wasn't this going full bore? It's a curious case that I don't have any answers for. But what we're going to do is this really cool thing called not worrying about it, because it largely doesn't matter. So we're going to round down and say it took 4 seconds to go through a stack in the basement. And I know rounding down might be a problem if this one comes out to be the exact same amount of time, because then we'll have to ask the question, okay, but was one of them like a fraction of a second faster? We'll never know. Go! I can keep my finger hovering over the stop button. 4.1 seconds! Alright, so within the margin of error, within the margin of me not clicking the button correctly, these are the same speed. Except for this one is occasionally not running at 100% for some reason. Presumably it has the same bug up here, which is wonderful and beautiful. We want to keep that going. We can replace this later with a non-inverted lamp. I'm just going to leave this on because I don't know why it ever slowed down. We're going to decommission all of this in the near future. You just wait and you see. Something else I thought about doing, and I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner, but what we can do, instead of trying to run all of this down here off of their own dedicated MFSUs, we can get rid of all these. We can just tie these solar panels into the main grid, okay? Now, that does mean that not 100% of the power in here is going to go directly to this machine. Every so often, some of it may go to something else somewhere in the factory. But then at night, the PESU, which is full, can send power back down the line, and I don't know, that seems like a good idea to me. You can tell me whether or not you disagree. One thing I'm not sure about, though, is where to tie these into. I was thinking about tying them directly into the lines that go to the PESU, but then I realized, you know what? The PESU has limited output, so we should tie it in somewhere else. But then it's like, but where? Because coming out of the PESU, maybe we won't end up doing that. I have no idea. Maybe we'll get a dedicated PESU down here, although, again, the limited... What were we doing just now? Oh, right, I've got some tips. What we're going to test now, because I was just going to replace this with the upgraded recycler, have the two of those down here and call it a day. But if adding some upgrades to this means we can add more quantum overclocker upgrades, well, then, hot diggity, I think we'll do that. So, Ben Ridout, one of the channel members, thank you for your support, Ben, as well as another channel member, Gamer225, both recommended using the power storage upgrade. Apparently that is going to allow us to add more overclockers. So power storage, and that is apparently not what it's called. I tell you what, let's just do an upgrade, or I misspelled something, which is also just as possible. It's the energy storage upgrade. Did they both called it a power storage upgrade. Ooh, awkward and embarrassing that you guys got that wrong. I'm just kidding. Thank you for your channel member support, by the way. I appreciate it. And I have said more incorrect things than that throughout the course of this series. Trust me. Well, I didn't. My AI did. I've been 100% accurate since I took over. This recipe is easy. What does this thing do? It doesn't even say. So looking at the recipe on the screen right now, it's really basic, but it doesn't say what it does. So I'm going to look up upgrades here. Machine upgrades, and we are looking at the energy storage upgrade. It increases the internal energy storage of a machine. So presumably what's happening, and the reason that I think they're recommending this, is that the machine itself cannot hold enough power to use 15 or more overclocker upgrades, right? Like the operation would require so much power that it literally does not contain enough power inside of itself to do it. Is what I assume is happening here. So, increases the storage of the machine, plus 10,000 EU, up to a maximum stack of 64. I'm assuming that's each one increases it by 10,000, though I will admit that I don't know that for sure. And I don't know how you would go about checking it, nor am I too pressed on the matter. One thing we do need to do is grab some copper cables. We're going to go with this recipe because I can't be bothered doing this one, especially when this one is very similar. So we need some batteries, some electronic circuits, and some copper cables. Do we want to make a stack of these just for the lulz? I'm not saying we're going to put a stack of them in that machine, but it could be funny. So we'll grab 2 stacks of copper cables. We'll hop right over here where hopefully this is running and not blowing up. And it looks like everything is good. So we can grab a stack of electronic circuits. And then the final thing we will need, a stack of batteries is going to be, that's going to be a bit tricky because they don't stack. And also, we don't have a stack of them because for some reason, we've decided to limit the amount of them that we produce. So we're going to go ahead and address that issue right now. So hold on. They do go up to 16. I shouldn't say they don't stack. And we do literally have a stack of them. It would be great if we had someone down here that we could, like, talk to and they could note these for us, you know what I mean? Like, just some... and then we could take them upstairs to the bank and have them unnoted. Yeah, I play RuneScape every so often. Okay, so this is the tricky part. We gotta throw them out on the ground so that we can... Dang it. We gotta throw them out on the ground so we can adjust it up to 64. Because this mod is silly. It's a silly little mod. Oh, I've gone too far. Oh, well, whatever. I don't know what that comes out to, but hopefully it doesn't overflow this. I think if each one of those is almost 2 stacks of 64, then that's 8 stacks each. And this holds 3 stacks of 9. Yeah, it'll be fine. That chest will be almost full, but it'll be fine. Okay, back upstairs we go. And I do play RuneScape. Here's the thing. My RuneScape, about once or twice a year, I will get a video recommendation from, like, Moteplox, or Colinello, or Soup, or one of the legends, and I'll watch it and I'll be like, I want to play RuneScape. And then I will get 1 month of membership, and I'll play the heck out of it. And then as the month wanes, I'll realize, oh gosh, what have I done with my life? And I'll stop playing it. But then, you know, either 8 to 12 months later, the process repeats and I'm back in. I did something that I'm very proud of. Okay, the last time this happened. So this was well, no, it happened last month. But the time before that, so sometime last year, I actually did the Underground Pass quest, which I understand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5 stacks of wood, so I already got 1. For a lot of people, that's not a very impressive quest these days, all things considered. But I'd never done it before. I was literally too scared to do the Underground Pass quest as a small child playing through that game. So I'd never been over to where the elves were. I also did the first elf quest once you get to the other side. I can't remember what it's called. But I did it where you kill the king's brother, who turns out he's the good guy! Oh no, it's a twist! Spoiler alert! Had a lot of fun with it, though, and I was like, little 12-year-old Rees lying about his age to play this game for the first time. If I could go back and talk to that wonderful little lamb and tell him about this, he would be so ecstatic. Just full of backups. It's been running so many backups, I just realized. But yeah, I would love to go back and tell little Rees that, but I can't. He's dead. Every day, little Rees is replaced with a new Rees, who is different than the one that came before. Today, I am here. Tomorrow, I will be dead, and there will be a new Rees in my place. That's how I perceive existence. It's flawed. My perception of reality is incorrect. Let's get some more quantum overclocker upgrades. And let's go to the wrong place. But then we'll go to the right one. And we'll see what happens when we install these. This is going to be one for the ages here. So if we add 1 more of these, the whole system stops. But then if we add 1 of these, the system starts up again. So how far can we go? I'm going to turn up the audio a little bit so I can actually hear the moment the machine stops running. I want it loud, blaring in my ears, okay? Okay, well, we're all out. We're up to 34 now. Okay, alright. No, this is cool. I want to get a stack of iron, and I want to see how quickly it does it now. Now that we've gone from 14 to 34. If there's no difference, if it hasn't changed, because we've hit some sort of a theoretical maximum, we're just going to upgrade it to the upgraded version of the recycler, put them both down here and call it a day. Go! .13 seconds. So within the margin of error, it's the same. But we're not going to give up, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to go to the B wing, and... Oh, you know what? I hadn't considered if maybe adding a... Hold on. Is the reason we can't add more of these in here because we've reached the maximum somehow in here as well? Could I add more? You know what? We'll find out, but I'm going to take the 30 of those downstairs real quick, and we're going to toss them in. We're just going to... Okay, I thought it was still running, but I was hearing the sound of the mass fabricator. I'm an idiot. Alright, so what we want to do is slowly add these in until it starts running again. Oh my gosh. Maybe we should have gone the other way. Maybe we should have added the whole stack and retracted them until it started working. Is this going to take the whole stack? Okay, so clearly something is wrong. Okay, let's start taking them out until it starts running. Unless, wait, is it running and it's just so fast? No. I was gonna say, let's turn that off. It's just so fast it doesn't look like anything's happening. But no, that is not the case. So, okay, so with an entire stack in there, and 50, it's still not enough power. You can't... We could add more of these, I suppose, if we took one of these out and we had more room, or we added one of those pouches that can hold more energy storage upgrades, but let's just retract this until we get to a point where they're moving at a... Because right now, it's actually slower than it was before, you might have noticed, because it's not maintaining its energy. So, to maintain energy, it looks like we kind of don't want to go above 38, if I'm looking at that properly. So what I actually want to do is we're going to do the test one more time. We haven't added that many more. Again, there's a lot of margin of error when we're relying on my finger and my reflexes here. So it's possible that it is just a fraction faster. 4.28. So it's not slower. That's just, again, margin of error with my finger. It's not faster, though. It's definitely not faster. So now the next question here. I'm going to take all of these upstairs with me and do another test, but we'll leave this running. What I'm thinking we'll probably end up doing is we are going to upgrade it to the upgraded tier, because it uses less power. We tested that before. The upgraded version uses less power. It's like 30 RF per tick in a room that creates, what is it, something ridiculous, like 30,000? It doesn't really matter, but that just seems like the simplest and easiest thing to do. Sorry. 52,000 RF per tick. Didn't mean to undersell it to anyone. We need to go back up to the B-wing, though. We should move this teleportation pad, by the way. It's kind of in the worst imaginable spot here. Okay, but we're going to very quickly... what did we determine it was? I think 30 that you could add to this without having... before it stopped mattering? Let's see. Yeah, so 30. Now, what if we add one of these? Okay, can we add one of these? You can add one of those. Okay. Oh, hold on. That has made no difference. What if we had the whole stack? It doesn't really... Hold on. Okay, now we add one more of these. It's made no difference. It's made no difference whatsoever. All right. So, we can, in fact, increase the number of quantum overclocker upgrades that are usable by also adding an energy storage upgrade. But it doesn't really seem to have any kind of... Wait a minute. Wait just a darn minute. What if the issue now is the voltage? What if the issue is not the internal storage, but rather the voltage that we can send? What if we need to do something crazy? Like, I think before... I tried to use a high-voltage transformer in reverse. And I'm not so convinced that works. Some of the wikis we've looked on says that it works, but I think that's like an outdated mechanic, or it has nothing to do with classic. It might be a mechanic in, like, just the regular industrial craft, right? So, the non-classic variety, I think what we need to do, and I don't know if it would work, but if we put, see, no, it says specifically 8192 in 208. See, that's the issue. That's the issue that I'm unsure about. can we get from high voltage to extreme voltage? I don't know. We could get a PESU and put like a bunch of transformers in there and see where that gets us. You know, we're overthinking this. This doesn't need to be this complicated. We're going to build another compacting. We're going to build another compacting recycler, and we're going to put it down here, and that's going to be the end of it, and I'm not going to break it, which is what I was about to do. I'm not going to break it using this. I'm going to go ahead and grab my precision wrench, and we're going to zip that bad boy right up, and we're going to preemptively break this so I don't accidentally feed it high voltage when we come back down like a buffoon before we're able to put in at least one transformer. And then what are you? You're an item translocator. That's what you are. You should be here. That makes sense. That checks out. We need to make the upgraded compacting recycler. Absolutely beautiful piece of electronics here. And in fact, we almost built this last time. Well, not last. Well, you know what I mean. Let's grab ourselves some pistons. And I think I actually put the other piece that we needed inside of here because I figured we'd end up doing this or something similar to it eventually later anyway. So, I'm sorry, is that not what I just grabbed? What did I grab? You're a vacuum canner. It looks similar. You have to admit it does look similar. Don't comment down below with any nonsense saying, Rees, you're crazy. It looked nothing like an advanced machine block. If I take that, and I take that, okay, and I put them right next to each other, and I take the mass fabricators they all have the same little thing on the top of them, okay? You cannot tell me that you can see the difference at this scale, at this size. Or I will not hear anything of the sort. So there we go. I wish you could put speed upgrades in these. You might be able to set them in there, but I know for a fact they don't do anything. So, compacting recycler. Some of you probably thought, haha, it'll be funny when Rees forgets to put in the transformer upgrade. But I am no buffoon man. I am full of wisdom and grace and style and flair. And look at that. I know what I'm doing here. Get some levers. And we will get this thing going up to speed. There we go. Oh, well, son of a gun. I can't move it. There's nowhere else to move it to, because I got to put this up here now. And hopefully we do still have that piece of glowstone. Get that moving again. Just feed those in there real quick, see if we can get that working for us. Now, need to go put these back. Hold on. No, I already did that. Yeah, so we just have all these upgrades now. We'll store them away inside of here. That'll be fine, along with all this other stuff. Now we need to figure out the basement, because it doesn't look very good, and it needs to look better if we're going to sell it, which is possibly the plan. We're very close now to having to make that decision, and there's still a lot of things I'd like to do. There's a lot of things that we've left undone. For example, the penthouse has yet to be furnished, and I do like the idea of having the outside of it be just nothing but high voltage solar panels. And then also in doing that, what we'll do is we'll end up with a bunch of these gray construction foam pieces because I can't change their color from here. We could also just change the position of the solar panels so that, you know, this is unnecessary. We also don't need to do that. There's no reason to put solar panels up here other than to just, like, flex on the amount of solar panels that we have. Something else we could do is we need to replace what's left of the medium voltage solar panel. What am I doing? I literally don't have to do this. I can just come down here. Also, what am I doing? I can just do this if I want to get back down here. Basement. We need to fix it. Is this a supply line, or is this line going somewhere? Also, should it be high voltage or should it be low voltage? I actually don't know. Hold on, let me get inside of here if I can. If I can just negotiate my way into this door. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. So, you're an MFSU. You're an MV transformer. I think we're probably safe to pump like, high voltage into this room to whatever end. And that might even tie all this into the main grid, like I said I was going to do anyway. Which could be interesting if we wanted to do that. We also talked about hiding all of the glass fiber cables. But that would kind of... If I did that, I wouldn't be able to do my other idea that I had, which is having more solar panels but down below, kind of tucked in and sort of going around. And then, I mean, at that point, what we could do is instead have like stairs hiding the cables underneath. Here's the issue. Doing that, we would need to have all of the solar panels go up one block so we could actually fit the stairs underneath. But I kind of like the idea, and that would double if we're going to do that, we need to go ahead and acknowledge that it's going to be, I think, more than 64 solar panels. So, you know, it's a good thing that we have, hopefully, a good supply of everything needed to make these, because we're going to go ahead and just grab a stack out of here. There we go. And we'll just let the whole system suddenly go into shock. Yeah, like that's going to happen. Don't know why, but that's going to happen. There you go. Here's a bunch of high-voltage solar panels just doing that for no dang reason. There's no reason. This has nothing to do with solar panels. Why? Why are you broken in this manner? It makes no sense. It explains why these were popping off when we came in here earlier. It explains it. I get it now. I understand. I actually don't understand. I don't understand why it's happening, other than that the mod is terrible, and I'm sick of these stupid logistics cables and their gosh darn nonsense. I'm tired of it, Grandpa. I don't want to dig no more holes. But here we are, so we're going to go ahead and replace this, because we know that for some reason, this works. So there you go. And we'll just collect the rest of these. And if you have a look inside of here, it's not doing that little nonsense anymore. What am I supposed to do with all of these? What am I supposed... Look, what's happening? What are you doing? You're supposed to be doing this. No, yeah, that's good. You do your thing. Everything is frozen. This is the work of months. The first 50 episodes of this series, leading up to the dwarves, was all just fun and games. And then the second 50 episodes, the second half of this series has been this factory. And this factory's been nothing but trouble. Nothing but a nightmare. I can't fit all the cables in here. What am I supposed to do with them? I tell you what we do with them. We come over here, we get a black hole, okay? We get a black hole unit, we just stick it here, we fill it with cables. I don't know what else to do with it, but we'll leave it like that for now. What? Why? Where? Look at all this refined iron. We were out of refined iron at some point. None of this is relevant to what we're doing. We're going to go back into the basement now, and here's what's going to happen. I am going to take a nap, and then as soon as I wake up, fresh new day ahead of us, I'm going to begin the process of raising all of the solar panels up one block. All right, I have now had to come up here to charge this wrench. I think this is the 4th time. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that thing with me, and I'm going to take it down to the basement. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go a step further. We'll go ahead and break that, and we're going to grab a single piece of white marble, and we're going to cover the floor, pretend like it was never there to begin with, and then I don't really know where to put this, other than maybe right here. Kind of put it next to the teleporter? How do we feel about that? Can we get power to it easily there? There are blocks underneath here, and there's no power going to the teleporter, but there's power right behind this wall. So the power's got to be close. I don't know how close. Boom. Construction foam wall. Got it. Isn't it funny that I don't have any glass fiber cables? All things considered. Let's see if we can get this connected. I guess we can put one here. We'll have to fill in the foam there. No, we won't. Oh, yeah, this will go, like, right underneath the portal. And then come up right here. No additional work required. Set that there. Place this down on top. And it'll start charging up slowly. But it will start charging up using the power of all of these solar panels. We could add an additional storage unit underneath it. I think you can plug a PESU into it. I might be wrong, and it's something I'll want to check before I just try it. Man, I don't know if I like the fact that if I teleport over here, this is like a step up. But I also don't think that it's a problem or that I mind it. This is where we are, by the way. We're about halfway there. Somehow, I inadvertently went over these, which is not how I've been doing it, because it's way easier to just stand on top of them. You know, like go over here, and then just work your way backwards, which is how I have been doing it. Okay, well, as the sun sets again, got them moved. Now it's time to go back through and add the next wave underneath. But first a nap. Oh no. Oh no. I've figured something out, okay? The plan was if we take these stairs here, right? We would tuck them up like this. Oh, sorry, like that. And that would hide the cable. But doesn't that look really dumb? Like if we grab some marble doesn't it look like there should be a second set of stairs that come out underneath these as well? And I suppose what we could do at this point, if we've made it this far, and we don't want to kind of go backwards and move the whole thing up one more level, because golly, that would be heartbreaking at this point, right? We could do that. But that kind of looks dumb. And the issue with doing 2 sets of stairs is, well, that means we cover up the lights here, right? In order to get to that point. So we either move the whole thing up one level, or we do this, which looks kind of silly. So guess what I'm gonna do now? Somehow I ended up watching Advent Children. That's where I am now with my life. I don't know why. I watched it once. It's fine. I don't hate it. It's okay. But now, for some reason, I've started it again. I need to close it because I don't want to watch Advent Children. I don't know why I'm watching it. But I did get all of these moved up one more block. And now, once again, I'm going to go to bed and then add the rest of the panels. Okay, so everything's coming along smoothly. But I did figure something out here, and I wanted to run it all past you, you know. That we knew that 64 additional panels would not be enough, so I'm not surprised I ran out just there. But once we put in the stairs, if the stairs go here, which, looking at it now, yeah, I would rather there be a space and then the first stair, but no, I'm not moving them all again. However, once we put the stair here and then the stair here, there's a little bit of a cavity right here. So, something we could do, I'm not saying we would, but we could, is instead of having the cables here, we could have MFSUs underneath each of the upper high-voltage solar panel. Each MFSU would be connected to 2 solar panels, meaning that during the day they would fill rapidly, and then once they were full, then the power coming from this one would go through the MFSU and into the line, and this one, oh, but then this one wouldn't be plugged into anything because there's going to be a stair underneath it, and they'd both be limited. Never mind, I can't cut all that. Okay, well, as expected, 64 was not enough to do the second line, but here's how it's starting to look. It's shaping up into something. 18! Wow, what is the slowdown this whole time? Are we back to here again? Are we back to the slowdown being these? Kind of looks like it, but then also something's slowing this down for some reason, because it should be consuming... Oh, wait, how many? Well, how many does it take to make one of these? Yeah, why isn't it... It's got 8 of them. What is the... You son of a gun. That could have blown something up. I hope you know that. I hope you know that I'm not pleased about what you just did. So we're waiting on those now, so that we can make these, so that we can get to making more of these. There's a little bit of a... I don't know if you can tell. There's a little bit of a slowdown in the world here. I'm trying to figure out what's causing it. By the way, previously it ran out of cables, so I had to hook it back in down here to cables. But I can see now that it's stockpiling cables again. And I'm just wondering if maybe it's not able to pull them back out because I moved... No, it's got one in the... Okay, good. Eventually it'll run... I was gonna say eventually it'll run out of redstone, but whatever. You know what? Well, this can just keep doing its thing. It's fine. Everything is fine. I think that's the only component that we're short on over here. If we have a look in these chests, we'll find that everything else is delightfully well stocked. Oh, interesting. Generator. I mean, it's staying stocked, but maybe we should keep more than a stack of them at a time. Where do I make generators? See, what I really need is giant neon signs on top of all of these. Here we go. Are you making a stack of them? Why don't you make more than a stack of them? There you go. Okay. Almost 2 stacks. That's a little bit better. And then this, I mean, there's nothing I can do to make this go any faster. You know, it's going at literally the speed of creation. You can see it happening. Unless I added an additional... logistics crafting. I mean, I suppose I could. We are all out of crafting pipes from the looks of things, but that's not going to dissuade me, because building a new one takes no time at all. The recipe was already pulled up, so back to Factory East we go to make mistakes, probably. Probably about to make a big one here. Probably about to learn why you don't do this. This is a bad idea. But we don't know that yet, so boldly we march forward. Temporarily gonna just really shrek things up here. Oh my gosh, the World keeps freezing. Okay, good. There we go. That should continue the flow. Yes. Recipe. Okay, and then need to import that recipe. And now, theoretically, that should start filling up. Yeah, okay. And it should start producing them. My concern was going to be that because we only had one source requesting them, maybe this one would not even come online unless we added like a second supplier module over here or request or whatever. But it looks like it's going faster now, and they're not being emptied instantaneously. Close, but it didn't go completely empty. I want to throw that out there. It did not go completely empty. It's getting close, but it's not quite. It's not quite. We could add a third one or a fourth one if we wanted to. These are moving at a much more steady pace now. Watch, before it even... well, no, it did completely empty, but it came back on real quick. So, I don't know. Do we add more? Would that be kind of silly? Would that be kind of wacky? Would that be sort of a nonsensical thing to do? Grab 2 more of these, and then go back over to... Why did we go so long without having a teleport directly to Factory East? Uh-oh. Hold on. This is precious material here. Well, okay. Arguably it is not, because we have like 40,000 in the basement or something like that. But is there a practical reason why this is really dumb and you shouldn't do it? Comment down below and let me know if this is just a fun, wacky idea that's going to benefit us in the long run, or whether or not this is going to be a horrific decision that I come to regret for years to come. Because you folks will know better than I. If you're patient, you'll find out. You know, you can just wait a minute, and we'll all find out together. But it could be one of those things that doesn't truly manifest its horrors until several episodes in, right? Like, we could be on episode 105, and then only just dealing with the consequences, but the consequences will be so great that at that point there's no turning back. So let's have a look here at how quickly this goes now. Is it going up faster? Notably faster. Notably, it doesn't appear to be going up any faster. Maybe. Oh, it is, because it never went that far before. We never saw it broach the 40s. Heck, it might even reach the 50s! Look at that, it's almost getting to a full stack before they're exported. And this is no longer being limited. I don't remember what this is set to. I think they're all... yeah, okay. Good, let that happen. Just let it go. Let it go. Just let them all flow. This could be one of those items where... you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it is. I'm going to go ahead and say this is one of those items where having an infinite number of them in the long run is going to be beneficial. So here we go. There you go. And lock that in. Slap this bad boy on the front and put this back in place. Can't believe this is happening, but here we are. Some items it's just worth having an infinite amount of. Not all items, but some items. Need about 3 of those. There we go, because we don't want to lose track of what's going on inside of here. It's important that we don't do that. So, eventually this will fill up, and then they'll just infinitely dump into here, and that's wonderful. Anything else we need an infinite amount of? I guess we can come over here and just check and see. So, right now we should have plenty of these. Nope, we don't have plenty of them. Is that the new thing that's keeping us slowed down? It's got plenty stocked inside of here. Ooh. What if this is the new thing that's keeping us slowed down? Should we have an infinite number of solar panels? How many do we currently have? Didn't we just check this? Oh, okay. No. Well, the issue with running this infinitely is that... and we don't have to. You know, I mean, first off, I said infinite, but then we never adjusted this. We never set this to infinite, which we're not going to because it would break that. This down here is running infinitely, but the concern is if that's running infinitely, that's going to consume all the cables we're making, which means that we won't have infinite cables. We'll just leave this as it is for right now, and at some point we'll figure out whether or not there's a way to... if I had 2 active suppliers on here, each one maxed out, would I get double the amount stored? I wish I could just set a set number. I wish I could just say, make me exactly 10,000 of these, and not have to deal with, like, stacks and all this nonsense. I wish there was more precision control, but there isn't. And you know what? We've gone off on a wild tangent. What am I here for? Did I get the 18 solar panels? I don't think this is going to be enough, but we'll have more eventually. My gosh, but it is going to be so dang close. We are shy by, what is that, 4? Oh my god. Oh, well, no. Okay, 6, I guess. But still, very close. We have 2. We're not short on anything else around here, are we? No, it certainly doesn't appear like we are. It is just right now waiting on these to get manufactured at a timely pace. There's enough there to make, like, 2 of them. What are you doing? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add some additional crafters, okay, for these, and then an additional crafter for solar panels. So that's 1, 2, 3 generators now, I suppose. And that should help increase... I don't need to shift there. That should help increase generator production a bit. Although, they're definitely getting consumed much faster than they are being produced. But that's because over here now, we have 2 solar panel generators. And that has made a profound difference, a profound impact on the amount being produced, as you can see here. So that's big. What are we going to run out of now as a result of the increased production speed? It does look like this is still our limiting factor, but the only way we can increase that is by reorganizing things over here to fit an additional crafting table. We could move this chest here. It's not even being really used, but we could stack these on top of each other and then put that on top of this one. So that there and that there, and then we could fit 2 more of these in here if we absolutely wanted to. There are definitely ways to improve this if we so chose, but if we have a look over here now, we should see that these are being pumped out quite a bit more quickly. I mean, it's not like a rabid racing pace. That's okay, because we don't need many more of these. We need more than that, though. I'm gonna do that thing I said earlier where I reorganize these. Come on, baby. Okay, just completely bypass this? Did I do something wrong? Hello? What's the issue here? Also, I wouldn't be shocked if we started to have battery issues. I need to increase battery production now. Did I not set these up properly? No, they're set up properly. It's just saying no. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use these 2. What an odd choice. Do we think that it might have something to do with... Well, actually, it looks like it is only using the 1. I wonder if it's because of the batteries, because the batteries don't stack, and batteries can only be extracted at such a pace. Interesting. Maybe. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. But because the battery stacks are smaller, is it possible that one of these, like it sends out the signal to get batteries, and then by the time it's ready to send another batch, this also needs new ones, so really this hasn't benefited us at all building all of these, which is not the case over here, because you can see over here that, in fact, all of these are getting and receiving items and spitting items back out, except for this one. What is your deal? You're set up correctly. Why don't you work? Why don't you get any? These 3 down here are all doing stuff, I can see. What's your problem? Why don't you get any? I hate this mod so much! There's just no reason for it! Watch this. Watch what happens if I manually get some copper cables, okay? And I manually toss those copper cables in here. There it goes. It's spitting them out. Is it going to summon new ones? No, it isn't. Why? Because it hates me. If I get one of these... And I think we've tried this in the past, or maybe Brashiat tried it in the past, and it didn't work. So, I don't know why I am bothering, but I don't know, desperation perhaps? Where the heck is it? Right here? Is this the one, the batteries? If we replace this with one of these, okay? Why is that there? With one of these, and then we put not 1, but 2 provider modules. Will that make any kind of difference? Kind of doesn't look like it, which is what I expected. I expected it to not really make... Oh, wait a minute. Well, hot diggity. We got 3 of them running now. Kind of. Except that one stopped. So if I add a tier 3 and I add a 3rd provider... Where will that get us? I'm not, because that approaches the realm of silliness. And then also, all of this was just a distraction for myself while I waited on 6 high-voltage solar panels to be manufactured, which has finally happened, so I can just leave, and that'll all just kind of keep working in the background, and I don't have to worry about it. Now, 6 was a guesstimate. I didn't actually count specifically how many I would need, so we're about to find out whether or not if I was wrong, and we're going to have to go back up there and wait for yet another. But we can hope that, I think actually, yeah, that's exactly how many we need. Okay, we'll have to get silly. We're gonna have to place these down in the wrong direction and then rotate them. Oh, son of a gun. Okay, there we go. They're all facing the correct direction. They need to all be facing the correct direction. Is the sun coming up or is it going down? I think it was just dark and this might be sunrise. But also, I don't know if I could tell from here. It is sunrise. So we should theoretically be at our peak of power production, or our PPP. And if we go ahead and check with our EU reader, we'll find out how many European unions we're producing. All the cables are in the right place. Yeah, okay, so we've more than doubled the amount of solar panels down here. No. No. We've less than doubled. The second row has less. Yeah. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Are you kidding me? 92,554 EU per tick. What do you think that looks like right here inside of this beast? It is consuming 90,000. I don't even think it's worth checking anymore with a timer. That is just too fast to bother. How are we doing on the scrap metal front? It's definitely being consumed faster than it's being generated. We do have a second machine upstairs, so I think we're ready to decommission the machine upstairs and bring it down here, but we also have this mess in the middle that I kind of want to redo. I've talked about redoing the entire floor space here. What I might do is, now that I know we're not going to have machines underneath here, I might move all of this to the ground, okay? And have it be sort of the centerpiece here. So move these machines over to here and run power from underneath here, kind of around to here. And I'm going to do the stairs first. Okay, so I realized as I did this that there was going to be some corners that didn't have solar panels. Because if we put solar panels here, there's nowhere to plug them in. And if we run cables underneath them, we just have to extend the stairs out more. And this cycle just continues. So I thought about putting down lanterns. And I was going to put down purple ones to match the floor. But then, as I was about to do it, I realized that maybe it would be better off using blue, because that's kind of roughly, and we'll grab some light blue as well, but that's roughly the color of the solar panels themselves. So maybe we have blue in here with the solar panels? What do you folks think? Comment down below and let me know your thoughts as I just charge forward boldly with this decision. We can revert it in the future if we decide we want to go with purple. But I just wanted something to fill in the space here besides just putting in marble, which seemed a little bit on the bland side. So there we go. And I guess maybe we go one further in, because at this point, why not? This wasn't the original plan, but I didn't really consider how silly it would look to have the stairs and then just a stack of 2 solar panels. So I feel like this is probably going to be the better call. And again, you can comment down below and let me know what you think. But once we fill in this level, there's going to be like a really cool blue glow that I quite like underneath some of these. That looks kind of cool! That looks kind of cool, and I like that it's blue. I think we'll stick with the blue then. Okay, now I kind of wish we'd done that all the way around, but of course, you know, if we put them here, then where the solar panel's going to go. So we're not going to do that, but there's that. Okay, I like it. I like the blue little light glowing in the corners. I think this looks really good. And yeah, you can still kind of see the solar panels sticking up. I suppose I could go around and do that if I wanted to, but I'm not sure how necessary it is. I'll tell you what, we'll just go ahead and do it a little bit here. We'll kind of get this corner sort of filled in like this. This isn't going to have any impact, by the way, on how much sunlight hits these solar panels. They're very simple. As long as they have unobstructed view to the sky, glass not counting, they work. Okay, maybe we... I don't know. That feels a little too aggressive. Yeah, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do now, though, is we are going to reorient where all of the machinery is. See if we can't tidy it up, make it look a little bit better, a little bit more sensical and not that. And also route the cabling sort of out of sight, out of mind. And then we will, you know, I understand this could lead to some severe problems, but we will go ahead and try to route a cable into that room there and power up everything on the other side of the wall, and we'll just sort of see what happens, like what consequences that may bring. But, I mean, we're going to have to get rid of these. And that's the only thing keeping this running at night. But if we continue the series, we can make the better solar panels, and it'll just run at a reduced speed. And we have such a stockpile right now that I'm not too worried about it not running at night. And I've been pretty aggressive about sleeping. You know, just now was a poor example, because I have been better than that recently. But, I don't know, for the most part, I feel like it's not that big of a concern. But let's get all this stuff moved. I was getting ready to break this ender chest that has the iron in it, when I realized that the iron is actually running out. And I thought, uh-oh, well, does that mean that our whole theory about the iron being broken, in a sense, is actually null and void? And I don't think that's the case. I think that the actual issue here is that if we go back upstairs, something else in the assembly line is removing iron and using it in the assembly process, and it could be this right here. No, that's refined iron. That's a different situation. But something is using iron. Could be... Does the generator use iron? Where is that at? It doesn't. Something, though, around here is consuming an awful lot of iron, and because it's not a machine, it does actually extract the iron, is my theory right now. I don't know that for absolute certain. What are we running out of? It seems like we still have the one limiting factor. Yeah, being the generators. Okay. Well, I don't know what it is, but I assume that's what's happening. And the only way I know to fix that, I don't know why I came back here, because actually the only way I know to fix that would be to go upstairs to the ingots level and just add an additional bank to the iron setup. Although, actually, how much iron is in here? You know what? I don't know what's going on down there, but I think that if we just plug this thing in temporarily, that ought to fix most of our problems. Although we don't need to do this right now. I brought this down here to hook it up into here, and I suppose I still could, but I'm about to stop it all and move it. I'm currently running the cable for electricity, and I'm trying to figure out how to lay all this out. And I need to be careful not to put things down and blow them up. I understand that. But I think what we need to do is go ahead and just start with the basics. So that includes just moving this down there. And yeah, we're shutting this system down, and we're not reactivating it. Okay, temporarily going to use some sand here. And I think in this corner we will have... Ooh, wait a minute. Got to think about how I'm going to lay these out if I want them to work... Oh, you know what? We can use export upgrades if we wanted to. So we'll put this here and then this here, right? And then we'll have to get the little pouches that hold upgrades in order to make this work. But we will, first things first, go ahead and put a transformer in each of these so we don't Shrek anything else up. And then the upgrade pouch, where is that out? Is that what it's called? It's not called the upgrade pouch, is it? No. Upgrade container. Much better name, far more sensible. We'll need a couple of those. So we have the 2 import upgrades, and we're going to have the ender chest that contains the iron go right there. And then we'll have, we can put, do we need an intermediary chest? Or a black hole unit even. A black hole unit could be a move right here that holds... all of... Yeah, we'll do that. I've decided that that's what we'll do. We'll get a black hole unit from Factory East. And every time I say that, it sounds like I'm saying Factory Yeast. Like, this is where we manufacture yeast. It's not. We're not making bread here or anything of the sort. That's not what this is. Also, I gotta remember, I could just do this. So, I hope that the export upgrades work with that. And then we can just throw switches on top. And then finally, maybe right out here in front of it, we can put... the mass fabricator, just plonk it down right there. And not seeing any flaws with this setup yet. Do you reckon that if we used redstone inverter upgrades, they would just stay on all of the time and I wouldn't need to put switches on them? Because I'm pretty sure that might be how that works. So there's something to make. So we got the 2 of those, and then we need 2 of these, and then we also need the export upgrades. And we'll get the full-sized ones. Full size, because I think those will do a full stack every time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, which does mean we have to make 2 of the normal ones. That's not a big deal. Hi! I've been utilizing the pause video feature in OBS so that I don't use up more storage space than I have to. So, important thing to note. I got these built and realized you do have to set the import and export upgrades before you put them in. And yes, the redstone inverter does make it to where as soon as it gets power, it does not need a switch to operate, which for some reason in the deep recesses of my mind, I feel like that came up in a Brashiat Cub chapter of this series. But we can now hear that operating. And I think one thing I do want to do, I hope this doesn't actually mess anything up. I'm going to take this out for a second. I'm going to flip this, and then I'm going to put this back in. And it looks like it's working okay, good. I just wanted to be able to see when this thing is running whether or not it is working properly. I don't think that the reason I took this out is because for some reason I thought if it rotated, it might mess up the way it's configured, but that's not going to happen. If we look in here, it's still doing the export just fine, so we can lock that, and this will theoretically run forever. We're going to end up having problems with iron is the only issue, but I don't know what to do about that outside of just making more iron, which we could do, or hoping that this thing stays sufficiently kind of broken. It does look like it's kind of broken. We'll go upstairs and check in a minute. But there's that sort of segment of the whole operation completed. And if we wanted to, we could put a label on that, except we can't because I don't appear to have any in my inventory at this moment, except I might because they're inside of here. Which means that what I just said was false. You can't put these on the top, can you? You absolutely cannot. On the front, though, looking good. So now we have the mass fabricator, and it is time to move it. And we're going to set it up. It can be plugged in directly, no worries. So we'll set it up right here. Right? Yeah. Yeah. We'll set it up right there. Wonderful. And we will configure it sort of the same as it was before, using the item translocators, because they do work exporting from the black hole unit. It's the import where you start having issues. But that should keep that stocked up, and that is not running very quickly, is it? It is daytime. So power should be going in there, and then going straight down and around. So we've had this problem before where for some reason there just wasn't much power flowing through here, which appears to be the case again, unless there is something in between these cables down here causing some kind of slowdown. I wonder if it's going through some sort of... Because they're all hooked together. Oh, wait. Oh, these aren't connected. Naturally! Naturally! There we go. Okay, so if we have another look here, this should be getting... That's more like it. Yep, 86,000, 89, 88, 93. That's way more like it. Yeah, look at that flowing through there. That's what I'm talking about right there, baby. Now we gotta get stuff out of the mass fabricator and into here. And of course, the issue with that is that, as many of you will know, there's no upgrades here. Now, the way we were getting things in and out of here before was using the logistics pipes, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But they're kind of redundant at this point. We don't really need them anymore with the simplified setup, other than, you know, say for the fact that I can't think of any other way to get things out of the mass fabricator, because you can't just dump them directly into here using something like a item translocator, because as you all know, item translocators don't work to dump items into black holes. So I suppose what we could do, if we wanted to make this all look very silly, is we could just use one of these, because it's never going to overflow, because reasonably it's never going to actually get completely filled up. That would look silly, though. I'm not lying. It would look silly, and it's going to look silly because we're going to have to stack it up in the air, and going to have to be like that high up in the air, right? In order for this to work, because this is going to go there. Wait, does it have to be higher than that? No, I don't think so. Where'd the mass fabricator go? I saw a generator in my inventory and it made me nervous. So that's going to be floating in the air in order to hook this on there. And that's not even the right black hole unit. Okay, there we go. UU matter. Yep, theoretically that works, except now how do we get that from there to there? Didn't think about that, did we? Okay. So there's that running again. We are absolutely positive this doesn't work, right? I know we've tried so many times. But I can't help but just sit around sometimes and wonder, oh man, but what if, though, it just stinking worked? What if? Can you imagine? Can you imagine living in such a glorious and wonderful world where that just was a thing that worked? Hello? Please. I'm begging you. I feel like that would be so cool. If you just, like, you worked, how cool would that be? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking for much here. I don't even know who to be mad at. We were using intermediary chest before, this one right here, and I suppose we could continue to use that one. Silly though it would be, and it would be silly. Or maybe not so silly. Now that I've said it, maybe not so silly. Hear me out on this. We'll put that there, but only just so we have something to set this on. What if we just moved the location of the black hole unit? There's no practical reason it needs to be down here in the basement. So what if we instead set this up with the item translocators? So it empties out into here. Like that. Except it won't. I think I remember now. It won't. It needs to link. It needs to export from the bottom for some just entirely asinine reason. That's fine. We can manage that. We can make that happen. Power into the side. How about that? Okay. And then hop out the bottom. We'll just put this down here. Kind of out of sight, out of mind, as they say. And then... there we go. I think it's silly, but this is where we're at. And then we'll take this one, which is the one that everything up top pulls from anyway, and we will go to Factory East with it, and just sort of, I don't know, tuck it out of the way over here in one of these corners where we've got all this other nonsense going on anyway, so who cares? Just, like, stick it literally right there. Is this the one with all the UU matter? Stick it literally right there. Grab one more of these, and one more of these. And hold on a minute. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, I'm starting to see the flaw here. I'm starting to see the flaw here because those two don't correspond, but these two do? This is the one in the basement now. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, no, so it's this one that we want to throw up here. I'm figuring it out. Don't listen. It's coming together. So this one is the one in the basement, slowly ticking up. And then we want it to be connected to this one. Okay? With the glowstone. Boop. No, whoa. No, there's no reason for there to be glowstone in here. Get that out of there. Oh, wait, no, we can't. Never mind. That was stupid. There's a reason that when we were down there, doing almost exactly the same setup, we had a gravity pipe. There we go. Lovely, lovely. And then next to that, because this is the one that everyone in the factory actually gets their UU matter out of, we have it be hooked up with a couple more items translocators. We already had plenty in our inventory, but, you know, here we are getting even more. And there we go. So is this a little convoluted? No. This is actually the exact same setup we had in the basement. We have the chest where all the UU matter is created, basically gets jumped into here, hopped into here, and then sent over to here. It's the exact same setup as before. If you think it's silly now, you probably thought it was silly then, and you are correct. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. Everything we're doing is just that little bit silly, but we're pressing on. Meanwhile, down here, yeah, this all looks really good. This is, are these reached 100%? They're at 100% speed, and still not quite managing to keep, I mean, they're maintaining is what's happening right now, and that's good. That's good. I bet if they had, you know what? No, never mind. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. How about the The iron situation is good. So iron is good and broken, which we like to see. So now we just got to fill all of this in. And something I wanted to do, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, is I wanted to surround all of this with... I wanted this to be like a perfectly squared block, perfectly centered in the room, surrounded with purple lights. And the only potential problem I see with that right now is that there's these cables here, but I can reroute those, I think. Well, dang it. No, hold on. Got to get the power underneath here somehow. Temporarily unplug everything. Okay, there we go. That's our entry point right there. Oh, Shrek off? Are you kidding me? Why is it... Why is the bedrock always so inconvenient to me? I feel like bedrock was programmed to specifically be a nuisance to me. Alright, there we go. And then into here. And then plugged into everything. Perfect. So that should still be working. Quickest way I know to check without just listening for the sound effects if everything's still running is to do one of these. Yep, everything is still plugged in. Except for you. You're no longer plugged in. I see that now. Issue has been corrected. That creates like a weird circle of power that I don't like, even though I don't think it matters. But there's the situation corrected. Now we can put... Well, you know what? Let's fill in that hole there. There. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So as of right now, this is where the power is running, and we are going to correct that to have it run, presumably, is this an electrical cable? What is happening? Get me out of this. I actually need to get into the wall back here for a second, so I can kind of see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so that's connected there, and I can now patch the hole in the wall, as well as break this cable. And we really don't need power going up top anymore. So, oh, okay, that was one of the more prolonged freezes that we've had, which is just always very concerning when it happens. But we can grab more marble, and we can grab more stairs, and I don't know why caps lock is on. I guess I'm just very excited about what's happening. That's what the situation is. But look at this. That is now invisible. And we can get rid of all this up here. Get rid of these chests. They're not needed anymore. Get rid of all of these. They're also not needed anymore. Get rid of these power cables down here. Boop and bop. Lovely. It's all coming together and looking good. I don't want to hoard all of this stuff. I do want to put it all away, but temporarily I'm going to put it all right here. And that way we will have plenty of room to get out the injection molder, it's a CF sprayer and obfuscator, and just take care of that business right there. That'll go way underground, and we're not going to ever go down there and kind of deal with the repercussions of that. You know what? This is going to have to be broken anyway once we accidentally inject foam all over it, so we'll just go ahead and inject the foam and then replace it. And then the rest of this can be... We're just going to cap it over. We'll leave it hollow, but otherwise we'll cap it over, and then you need to be set like such. I think I made fun before of people needing to rush through this with sand, but I don't actually blame people. You know, I think the dry time's a little bit random, and I am curious to see what the final look is going to end up being. So there we go. Now, of course, some of you may have noticed that there is still a couple of things left to do up here. We do still need the world spike, and no, we're not going to leave it hovering in the air. That would be ridiculous. Are going to get rid of all this, though, because we just don't need it. Wonder what that black hole was used for. Wonder what this ender storage chest was for. At the end of the day, once all of this is tidied up, what we should be left with is an inventory so full of sand and random gubbins that there's no room to get the important stuff, which is these two machines. This is all we need now. We just have to integrate these three components down there somehow. Well, that made a bit of a mess, didn't it? That's alright, we'll figure this out. I think we'll just put the standard world spike there. We will put the appropriate ender chest, which is not triple black. Is that it? White, blue, blue? That sounds right. We'll put it there. And then we will use... Guess what we'll use? Can you guess what we're... First thing we're going to do is we're going to dump all that in there. Because, gosh, it's taking up a lot of space. And then we are going to put Put some of this in here like that, so we have some storage space. And then we're going to grab a couple of our favorite items in the game, even though we already had plenty in our inventory, and even though it doesn't really benefit us at all, I reckon we're probably going to go ahead and take this opportunity to put in a single piece of glowstone so it moves a stack at a time for no reason, because it's unnecessary. World Spike is activated. And there we are. And my, oh my... Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, hold on. No, yeah, no, this is all wrong. Oh, shoot. I can't believe I just did that. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Disconnected everything. I was gonna put a light there, but I don't know if I can. Well, hold on. If we go upstairs real quick, I think you can grab just an individual piece of construction foam, if that's what it's called. Yeah. You can grab an individual piece, okay, and then we'll go back downstairs. I imagine this is not going to work at all the way I would like for it to. What I would like to be able to do is put this on there, and then sample this light. No, I already know what that's going to look like when it dries. I've already got a really good idea of what we're going to be looking at there if we ever manage to get sand pulled up here. And out, and then, yeah. No, that's not gonna work. Okay. Well. There's no way to route sand underneath this thing either is the issue. There's not supposed to be a block there, is there? No, okay. Oh, looky here. Oh, dang it, it goes to a dead end! The bedrock! The bedrock is the bane of my existence. Here we go. Hold on, here we go. Alright, here's what we'll do. This is how much this means to me. We'll go around like this, and that should be good. I think this has a cable in it, so this should still be getting power. Yeah, everything's still running, everything is set up just fine, and now I can come in, and you know what, we'll tuck this away back there. We need the correct lights. There they are. I did have plenty in my inventory, as it happens. Good. There. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it lovely? Charge this thing up. Oh. Oh, you monster. You monster. I can fix that right now. I'm not gonna have this over here in my perfect world mocking me. Let's cut down. So here in the wall is where we need that to run to. It looks like it already connects right there, actually. So what we really need to do is just have this line come out of the wall. Okay, nothing blew up from the sounds of things. And we can just close that right in. Doot. And from the outside, it is perfect. What about on the inside? First off, we can finally get to this door again. Oh, good gosh. Dang it! These stupid doors! Okay, you don't have to have a bare hand, but you gotta have the right kind of thing in your hand. Bare hand's just the easiest. Rar? Get it because bare hand? Yeah, I'm not really sure what more we could do here. Is this also a door? Hold on, this might also be a door. That's the most useless door. This is all hooked up, though. This is hooked up now for some reason. This is empty, and I don't know why it's here. But there we go. That is now very tidy and looking good. That is very tidy and looking good. This is charged up and operating. At what power level are we looking here, according to the EU reader? 94,000 EU per tick. We could add some more solar panels somewhere and get up to 100,000, I'm sure. But I think you will agree that this is a much tidier... I'm trying to get myself like a nice little view for the thumbnail. This is a much tidier looking basement. This looks really, really good. And also, we still have this over here. So, if you want to go back and remember the old days of when we used to do nuclear things down here, and I would just completely forgot about this stuff, and I've been too lazy to move it, and I'm not going to. You know what? I'll tell you what, we're gonna put a sign on it. We're literally gonna signpost it here. Let's see. What are we going to call this? In memoriam of nuclear. No. Wait. In memoriam of nuclear. Just like old George W. used to say. Perfect. Somebody's gonna see that sign on, like, episode 210.
Excuse me, but that's not how nuclear is spelled.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful and it's nighttime. Folks, oh, actually, this might look better at night. Especially when you get, like, the little blues in the corners. Oh my goodness gracious, look at this place. It's fabulous. Thank you, folks, for watching. God bless each and every single one of you. And I will see you... Oh gosh, we're not centered. Close enough. In the next one. Goodbye. God bless you. And Merry Christmas. What's the next episode gonna be? Is that gonna be... No. Is that gonna be episode 99?